Many of us first fell for her no-nonsense character as second lady on the Tyler Perry Studios, The Oval, and came to love her even more in her roles on, like, was it Reasonable Doubt? What was it? Reasonable Doubt, that's right. Please welcome back to the Fulton Films Red Carpet Series stage, Kay Singleton! All right, our next panelist is also a Fulton Films ambassador. He was an actor, director, writer, acting coach, you name it. He served as one of our masterclass conversation main stage speakers, and Fulton Films has had the pleasure of hosting our very first red carpet screening with his production company's movie. Remember that? Wasn't that great? Once in a Valentine.
It was a first.
It was a first. You all know him maybe as the butler on the TPS series The Oval, and also seen on the popular TV show Lincoln Lawyer. Y'all please show Javon Johnson some love so he'll feel like he is loved. Please. All right, next we have one of his co-stars from Tyler Perry's The Oval, the First Lady. Listen, she let you know from season 1, episode 1, that she was not to be played with. Right? Yes. But that character is just the tip of the iceberg for this character because she is multi-talented with various roles through the years. And y'all bet y'all didn't know this. She's a songstress. Y'all didn't know? Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, please welcome Kayron Moore. And I'm coming to it. All right. Hold on, I missed one. No, I got 2. Hold on. I'm trying to find my notes. Sorry. This is so tacky. All right, let's see. I feel like I'm missing one. All right, I don't know where your little card is. What was it? Oh, no, I'm missing a card. Okay, all right. Well, this one I know because she's almost like family. So how well do I know her? Well, first and foremost, this sister really blew up the internet. She blew up the internet so bad that when the law enforcement were out here for this particular production, and they asked us, well, who was coming? And I told them, and then I said, Rolanda. So they had to make sure that they got a picture with all the sisters. We didn't get you because I wasn't standing out front. She came to fame with the vertical success with Country Wayne skits, also with BET Plus's Wesley Family Christmas. But y'all know her as what? Y'all give it up for Rolanda Rochelle. And then finally, our next panelist has gone from the NFL gridiron to the big screen. The former Baltimore Raven and Arizona Cardinal now plays various new roles on popular productions, including BMF. Did you know that y'all film sometimes right here on our... Yes, that's why you're here. Because they actually filmed their production right here on our property. He filmed in Fulton. TPS is Ruthless, just to name a few. But he says his most important role is that of a dad. Please welcome Stevie Baggs Jr. You all give all of them a wonderful round of applause. Kay, it's on you.
Thank you so much, Shania. And y'all, one more round of applause to Shania Chavis Records. She put this all together, and you have been such a mentor and a resource, and I'm really, really grateful for her. Now for the audience, can we talk?
Can you guys hear me?
Talk?
Can you guys hear me? This one might be better. Okay, I'll come down. Here you go.
1098. I'm wondering if it's
1, 2, 1, 2.
Here, Stevie, take this, darling. Run. There you go, but not on the carpet.
All right, can y'all hear me better now? So I want to know, can we have some real talk in here? Because there's a lot going on in this industry right now. And if you have been in the industry for any period of time, I'm getting a little see if that helps. You know.
It sounds like we Wakanda forever. Wakanda.
Now we can't hear it.
You know, we have been going through it, and one of the many questions that we have all been asking each other as actors, as creators, as filmmakers is, where do we go from here? What are we going to do? first we had TV shows and films that we were in development for, we're getting ready to shoot, and then networks started merging, budgets started shifting. Next thing you know, we're scrambling to do auditions. The auditions are drying up, right? And so we've been through the strikes, through the shutdowns, through the budget cuts, and so much more, but we're still here. We're still telling stories, and we're still trying to figure this thing on out. So, since we're having real talk, today isn't going to be about doom and gloom. Today is going to be about how do we address the issue and how do we figure out a pivot for where we need to go. And I have such a talented group of multi-hyphenate individuals that I can't wait to talk to get into this whole subject, okay? So this powerhouse group, y'all, and be frank with all of us. I want y'all to tell me the real, okay?
I'm gonna be Javon.
Of course. All right. So my first question, okay? We're gonna start with the obvious. What did just happen, right? From your perspective, what has been the biggest shift that you've seen since the strikes and contraction of budgets, right? And how has this shift affected actors, producers, filmmakers, directors? So, what has been the biggest shift you've seen? Whether it's been a lack of auditions, a lack of shows, a lack of this, a lack of that. And the second part is how has this shift affected everyone on this stage?
You know, they had a budget cut, and I told them I don't answer first questions with the budget cut issue. Okay, Ron. I'll say, I think I'm stupid, y'all. I'm sorry. I think there's an overall response I have to that question in regards to this industry doesn't move in a traditional fashion anymore. I think there's a shift indeed has happened. And I think as much as the influence of technology, the advancement of AI and these fake actors that agencies are talking about signing and this fake music that's happening right now, artificial, I think that we have to broaden our ideas about how all of this is done. I think there's a reorganizing of thought, a reorganizing of process, a reorganizing of ownership, and taking your future into your own hands at this point. Because we had to contend with gatekeepers. We had to contend with, I know back in, you know, April was talking about, you know, phone booths and things like that. Well, back in my day, it was only a couple of ways. You get a headshot, you print it, you put it in the mail, you get on the Greyhound bus, and you go audition in Chicago, you get back on the bus, and you come all the way back down here. We're long gone from that, right? It's evolved. And I think we're at a place now where we also have to evolve. And we have to accept some very painful realities, some things that makes us uncomfortable as artists that we've gotten accustomed to. And we have to be courageous enough to say, you know what? This is what the industry is now. And this is what it's going to take for us as creatives to make sure that we are still a part of it and that we still have a voice and we can exercise that voice. And we might have to move a little untraditionally to do that.
I actually love that answer because so many of us have to now pivot and find something else to do untraditionally, to your point, and figure out how we can move forward in this industry in a different way. And that's why I'm so interested to talk to Ro later too about verticals and being producers and doing independent filmmaking. So, and I'll let you go, Karen. I'll tell you.
I think one of the, a couple of the biggest changes that I've noticed are the drying up of auditions. I don't know if would anybody relate to. Yeah, it's dry. It's dry. Even for leading cast members, it's not dry for you. She's talking to you.
It's dry.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure.
The industry is dry. I just wanted to know if you're making it.
That and also how fragmented projects are now. I mean, long gone are the days of, regular network television and that being our only source of entertainment. Now we have, I don't know how many different platforms, and you know, you go to vote for the Emmys, and there are a lot of projects that I've never even heard of because they're on platforms that I wasn't even aware of. So, I mean, I think that's been one of the biggest things that I've noticed. And I think one of the keys to navigating this new landscape is collaboration, creative collaboration. I think we need to lean upon each other, whereas, you know, we used to depend upon, you know, those auditions coming in. No, let's take our own opportunities, let's collaborate, let's put our creative minds together, and things happen for ourselves.
I love that. Yeah. And so, to piggyback on that, for multi-hyphenates such as yourselves, and you've all been in the industry for a while and done so many different projects, how have you had to reinvent yourself again and again? You know, how have you pivoted before, and how are you approaching things differently now?
I can tackle that, Rome. I mean, coming from the NFL, doing everything that I did there. Can y'all hear me better? Yeah. Okay, I just reject. No, they said no. Okay, coming from pro football into the television film world, for me, I always used to call it from the field to the real. But right now, with this industry being as dynamic as it is, I think we have to recognize that what we're dealing with is not mental, it's not physical, but it's spiritual. And the way I look at the world, the way I look at the lens is that when you live in the eternal now, you create your own reality by the power of your thoughts. So if we keep saying it's dry, goddammit, it's going to stay dry. But imagine if you change your mindset, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I create my reality from my thoughts. I just booked the SAG National commercial because of that. It wasn't my talent and I'm just such a great actor. It was because I saw myself already on film. I saw myself creating it in the hallways of my mind. And so that became my reality. So that's the main way I pivoted, because you're right. Going from 4 to 6 auditions in a week to going from 20 in the whole year, it can be trying to your spirit, to your pocketbook. I know I took a hit economically for real. And those of us out here who don't know about going from making a certain amount per episode or getting booked on TV film productions, and then even the residuals were like looking crazy. I'm like, dang, what's up with the residuals, bro? Like, did they change that too? I said, hold on, I have to change something. And what I changed was my mindset. If you don't like your habitat, thank you. If you don't like your habitat, folks, you have to change your habits. And if you change your habits, you can shift your habitat. So that's what I did.
And to piggyback off of that, because I love what you said, for actors and creators and filmmakers in all walks, trying to stay busy in this downtime, because it has shifted and it has gotten so much slower than it used to be. What's the smartest move that they can make right now, since we do have time to create and to build?
So I'll answer that. Coming from the non-traditional way of getting into this industry, you have to change your mindset and be open to receive and innovative, right? And most of you all know I went viral before the pandemic, and then during the pandemic, I went viral like 5 or 6 times, and that's how I got here. But it was a matter of a 50-year-old person changing the mindset and not thinking the traditional way. So I took advantage of social media, and it opened up a plethora of opportunities for me. So you all came in film and television, I came in through skits. And you have to be able to, for me, you have to be able to just be creative in the non-traditional way. We all have gifts. We can write, we can direct, we can produce. Being able to use, for me, being able to use that platform. I've been in it for 5 years, so it was about being viral. Now it's about being just transitioning into being a producer. You know what I mean? I've just been sitting and shooting skits and being an actor, but I was forced to be a producer on this platform. I didn't want it. Too much responsibility. But I was forced to do it because someone saw that gift in me. And right now I'm producing on the platform and being able to deal with different personalities and challenging myself how to write and direct and doing this just on this one platform, right? So my suggestion is we're all fighting for something that's minute. Like, we all trying to get on television, film and television, but you do know there are other platforms that you can use because unfortunately Hollywood is not like it used to be, you know. So it kind of, Facebook and Instagram and all these social media, it leveled the playing field. No more gatekeeping, you know. So I just think you have to be open to change and not put yourself in a box because someone says, oh, you got to do it this way. Well, I'm just not going to do it your way because I'm not the average. That's how I see myself.
Can I piggyback on that being innovative, I think that's key. Finding a void in the market and filling it, being a disruptor. I think that's where we need to focus our energies at this point, you know. So get in where you fit in, you know, or carve a new space.
So let me just say one more thing. I know that some of my colleagues, they don't like for me to these Lilo skits, and as an actor coming from Lilo skits, for me, when you, how can I phrase this without saying? Not being disrespectful.
Girls, just say it. Yeah. We have a real talk.
You just use this platform to create a community, right? I have about 3 million across the board, about 3 million followers. That's going to shift too. Social media is going to shift too. But if you use that to create your own community, they're going to follow you. Create content specifically for your audience. You don't want everybody. So for me, mine is over 50, and I know everybody gonna get old.
Well, I follow you, and I ain't over 50, and I love your content, girl. Hallelujah.
I'm giving y'all young folks something to look forward to, but you have to be able to just think different than the average person. Use social media to create, inform your own community.
Bottom line, content is currency. And I think we have to really, really talk about that because content, whatever kind of content it is, it's currency now. I mean, I just seen today that Netflix is giving out podcast deals now. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to find a way to get the content out to the masses. And to your point, I'm not looking for everybody. Everybody is not even going to resonate with your message. Everybody's not going to resonate with your look. Everybody, you know, so you just do what you do. And when you do it genuinely and authentically, the proper people will be in alignment with that. And that's how you always win. Yeah.
I love that too. And so I want to piggyback on what all three of you all were just saying. Now that there is this shift and we have to find different avenues to get our content out there because content is key. How many people, because I know there's so many artists, filmmakers, creators, writers, actors, how many of y'all have heard of verticals?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so then it looks like a lot of you have. I'm going to be honest with you. I just heard about it last week when I was at a PGA workshop. I was like, what is a vertical? And they got into the... I saw that, Javon. So they got into this whole conversation about verticals and how much money they're making. I had no idea that they were making $3 million a day. And it's pretty much like what Rolanda does with the Country Wayne skits and her own skits, because she's a producer in her own right. And they use an app that originated out of China, but they use an app to put these soap operas on there daily. And now that I see all these different avenues as outlets for our creativity, I'm like, okay, so how can we create our own lanes? And to be quite honest with you, Rolanda, I feel like with Country Wayne, you all were the innovators of this whole vertical push. And now it's getting into a whole nother lane. And so with that being said, what advice would you give other actors and filmmakers to stay competitive? Now that we know that there's fewer jobs available, now that we know that we need to, content is key, we need to start thinking about podcasts, about verticals, about skits, about creating our own, about independent filmmaking. What advice would you give them to stay competitive? Do they need to take more classes? Do they need to do more? What do you think?
For me, I don't care about competition. I hate competition. I compete with myself, but I think it's about collaborating with others, forming your own team that's going to help you move things forward. I'm not good with numbers, so that means I got to get an accountant. You know, wherever I'm lacking, I would develop a team that's going to help me move whatever I need my production forward. As I said, embrace change. With AI, you can't if you can't beat it, join it, learn it, understand it. Don't wait for it to happen. Don't wait to see other people doing some things that you know you could have done better. With the skits, nobody during the pandemic, nobody was my age. They was like, it's just foolishness, it's the devil. But me, I saw an opportunity. I used it to leverage where I am right now. So use AI. We don't like AI. We, as a SAG member, we were fighting against it. Look at it. If you learn it and figure out a way to help whatever you have going on, I'm almost certain you're gonna love it. That's how I.
My take on it is that you have to invest in yourself. And when I say invest in yourself, it's almost kind of like when you're on a flight and the person they say put the mask on you first before you put it on anybody else.
Right.
I think that in life we have to really recognize that we got to move that way. If you're giving from an empty cup, then you're going to end up empty. Anybody that's around me and in my life and in my circle, they're always only going to get from the overflow. They're not going to get from an empty cup. I'm not pouring out to them because I got to be full for them to eat. And so how do you stay on full? Go get out in nature. Change what you eat. Change the way you think. And I promise you, everything in your vibration is going to shift. Now, to a lot of you all, that may be hocus pocus. Somebody else might say go to church. Somebody else might say go sit on the couch and talk to a therapist. However you get there, there are many paths to righteousness, but you have to invest in yourself. Because if you do not invest in self, you're gonna literally burn the candle at both ends, and you'll always be dominated by stress and anxiety. And I'm gonna land with this. If you're not happy in your present, then you hate the present self. So then you want to live in the future and you want to live in the past. But when you get locked in on the present self and you love the present because the present is your gift, then you won't have to have anxiety and fear of your past, which causes depression, and fear of your future, which causes anxiety. And you can be thankful about the present gift and grasp this moment. Why I don't care about artificial intelligence because I have actual intelligence. I don't care about the AI because I also have IA, the intellect of the Almighty. So when you do that, now you can create many different things, many different ideas that shift the whole vibration of anybody you come in contact with. So I'm not just an actor. I'm not just an author. I'm not just a speaker. I'm not just a father. I'm not just a philanthropist. I'm not just a land developer. I'm doing it all because if you're a multi-dimensional person, why would you only be focused on one dimension of yourself? That makes no sense. So I'm going to land right there.
Let's go. Stevie Bass, Baltimore Ravens. Oh,
don't call them. We playing terrible this year. Please don't call them.
he ran a 7.440. Because he's pigeon-toed.
Backwards.
I'm pigeon-toed too, baby. Now, I just want to add, because you used the word that we haven't addressed, which was training. You know, change is always difficult, right? And I spoke a little bit earlier about things have to evolve, right? There was a time where the world where Tyler comes from, the urban so-called Chitlin circuit at the time, and there's urban circuit. But there was a time where regional theater turned the nose up to that. right? It was like, okay, if you're in the world of August Wilson, then you look down on the world of Tyler Perry. I'm from both worlds, successfully in both worlds, and at some point I had to turn a different lens on that, and I said, wait a minute, why is there a separation? Why is one legit and the other one isn't? Why is one credible and the other one isn't? And I said, wait a minute, there's a tree here, there are branches, and then there's a root. Tyler and August come from the same root. So why are we speaking which branches matter? And my point to this is, we can get caught up in those kinds of things and say, well, Ro ain't a real actor. Ro over there doing them little skits. I ain't gonna do them little skits. That ain't what I do. I'm legit.
And y'all coming on over too.
Right? But it's about mindset. It's about mindset. It's about you seeing an opportunity where other folks were turning their nose up at those things. But this again is a part of change, because we get so locked into tradition that we can't have a vision when something evolves, and we judge it because, one, we don't understand it. We look at it and we say, well, how is Country Wayne making all this money, and I'm over here trying to get the next audition, and I've been doing this for such and such amount of years, and I got these awards, and I'm over here struggling, but Country Wayne just hit $1 million and paying his actors over there. I'm just saying, it's on tape though. I said it.
She said, don't tell her business.
CW. But my point is, if we don't accept that it ain't about us all the time, it ain't always going to be comfortable, it's not even going to be convenient, and it's going to be challenging, and everything has to evolve, and our attitudes and our mindsets has to evolve along with it, because we can get stuck and we can limit ourselves to our own restrictions without knowing that our setback is not with the industry, it's with us. And so if you can't look at verticals and say, maybe I don't do what Country Wayne do, but the outlet I have is verticals. What can I do that speaks to the integrity of who I am as an artist, that supports my voice, my vision in that same formula, but what makes me who I am, right? And we don't look at that. We get with, now I don't want to be seen doing verticals, blah, 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 blah. No. The industry is not going to stay what it is to keep you comfortable. So I think I just wanted to add to that, because the last point on this is the training part. So I teach, but what I teach and how I teach is very deep in the craft of it all, and it's not for everybody. And that's okay, because your training, if you're in the virtual world only, or you're in certain lanes only, you don't need the training that I'm giving. You need a different kind of training. And that still is training, because you have to learn and perfect whatever avenue you're going down that lane. But it's not for me to say, well, you're not such and such because you didn't learn what I'm teaching you. It's no, go learn what you need to learn to be great at that thing. And I'm gonna learn what I need to learn to be great at what I do. And then you utilize that in whatever form that's the opportunities you have to be able to expand that and take advantage of some of these things that are evolving in the industry. So I just wanted to say that just about training, because training is always necessary. Knowledge is always necessary. Being aware of whatever lane you're in, you should know as much as you know about all of that, business and artistic on the artist side. Because if you don't know one and miss the other, yeah, that's some traps. So I just wanted to say that.
That was really poignant. And so I want to have some takeaways, or talk about some takeaways for today. One thing we heard, that the industry is contracting, right? But creativity isn't. So the rules might be changing, but the hustle, the artistry, all of that is still the same. The community working together, that is untouchable. And so I want to end this with hope that we're going to move forward and continue to elevate and continue to grow and get through this season, because it's just going to be for a season, and things will get better on the other side. But to close, I want to do a little quick fire question for all four, and you can choose which one that you want to answer. So either answer one word that will describe the industry right now, or finish this sentence: in 5 years the industry will be what? All right, Stevie, you go.
My word is overcome. And in order to overcome, you got to come over. I'm done.
One word to describe the industry, or in 5 years, the industry will be what?
Innovative. That's it.
One word to describe the industry. Opportunity.
Oh man. Let me
What we gonna be in 5
frank.
years?
I had the one word thing, but the industry is right now. Can I do that one? Okay. All right. The industry right now, in one word, for me, is it's ours. Now let's go get it.
Yo, said the industry is ours. And
You can see how much fun we have on set together.
hey, I do want to say this, Kate. He mentioned like a Barry Jenkins versus Tyler Perry, and most of us have worked with TP. The difference between Tyler Perry and Barry Jenkins is we did 7 episodes we did 31 episodes in 7 days with Tyler Perry, and I did 1 episode in 30 days with Barry Jenkins. That was the difference. But I love TP because you gonna get that check immediately. Listen, hey April, I need to talk to you.
So thank y'all so much for this time. I want to thank each and I'm sorry.
I'd just like to since we're wrapping this up, right? I just want to give everyone a word of encouragement. I was at an event last week, I believe, and I was being interviewed by a media outlet, and this young lady said something to me that kind of set me back on my heels. She said that even when you think no one notices you, no one is paying attention, when things are slow, people are watching. People are watching you. And I think that is so poignant because just because we don't see, we can't see it, doesn't mean it's not there. The opportunities could be lying in front of us, but what we can't do is quit. We can't give up on ourselves.
I love that. And did y'all want to, if there's any more words of advice that I know they would love to hear?
I just want to say thanks to Fulton Films, okay, and for you doing all the work that you do in the industry. If y'all don't know, this lady she's on fire as a creative, as a melanated woman, just breaking down barriers. And I'm a little biased because she's from Florida, my home state, but that's another story. And then we got to talk about the PVIFF that's going on right now. Talking about community support. They're having their film festival right now. We got to talk about that. And if we're going to support one another and support film festivals, please try to go by and support in something they have going on this over the next course of the next 2 days. But thank you, Fulton Films, for hosting this. This is a beautiful event. It was very classic.
And I want to say something too. It's networking events like this that I think we could all take advantage of. We can collab, we can collaborate, we can network, we can establish friendships, relationships. We're talking about how we can move forward and how can we make change. These type of events is what's necessary. And I just want to say, Shawnee, thank you so much for creating this opportunity for us all because it's definitely needed and it's encouraging, for sure.
Well, thank you so very much. You guys give them a wonderful round of applause. Hey, don't go nowhere. Stevie, where you going? Say, wait, I got to get a picture. I wanted to thank you all for being here. I also wanted to thank, there are a myriad of partners that we have here. If you didn't see the banners, you guys, when you came up, there's all those banners for the various festivals from Atlanta Film, Atlanta Jewish, Georgia Latino, Atlanta Indian Film Festival. I mean, you name it, PVII. I mean, you name it, Bronze Lens. We try to support. We really try to support. And let me tell you, somebody asked me on the carpet, You know, you're asking the question, where do we go from here? Talk to us about what you think. Where do we go from here? Well, I will tell you, I am going to be advocating for the independent filmmakers in 2026. We are grateful to Marvel and the likes who have come and have used our facilities, and I know some of them have moved on, but you know what? I personally have already talked to Commissioner Marvin and said, hey, I know we have a fee structure. We need to look at that. There's no way we should be charging independent filmmakers the same thing that we're charging Marvel. So you have my word that our office is really serious about trying to meet you where you are. You got it? Yeah. All right, I got your back. If I say, hey, I need some help, y'all gonna help me to get that done? All right. Well, I want to thank the partners. I have so many of our celebrity friends who thought, Fulton Films, what is that? Let me come and check it out. Mr. Fortune, it's a pleasure to see you, Mr. Colorful. It is a pleasure. It was a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Middlebrooks. A pleasure to meet you. We've got so many. Where's my rich auntie? I saw you. That was good to see you. Good to see you, Lori. And Dwayne and Ryan Richmond. Oh, Reasonable Doubt producer. We saw that. Yes, very good. Where is QVH? Are y'all still here? I see you. There you go. Got a project right now. Remind me of the name of it. I'm having a senior moment. Always, most of the times, we are going to have a screening with him at Terra Theater. Where is Chris?
Right here.
Yeah, that's my man. Chris, I called Chris and said, we need a screening. He said, I got you back. So thank you so very much. We want all of you to continue to mingle a little bit this evening. Meet somebody that you didn't know. And then let's all come on back together this time next year. Panelists, you're wonderful. I appreciate you guys. And let's take a picture. All right? Another round of applause, everybody.